Good day, everyone, especially from Mount Garcia. We are the Group 9.
Today, we're about to share with you the aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. But before we proceed, we're about to introduce ourselves. I am Shimrich Owen Sendencia, and this is my group mate,
Rika Esaga and Rashida Pada. So now let's proceed on our topic. Yes.
The importance of anaerobic. The respiration that allows organisms to continue producing energy even when oxygen is not available. In humans, it helps muscle works during intense exercise but produce lactic acid, which causes fatigue in microorganisms like yeast and bacteria. It produces alcohol and carbon dioxide, which are useful in bread making, brewing, and wine production. It is also important for survival in low-oxygen environments and has many practical uses in food and industry. Anaerobic respiration is important because it lets organisms make energy even when oxygen isn't available. In humans, it helps our muscles keep working during hard exercise, but it also produces lactic acids, which makes us feel tired or sore. In microorganisms like yeast and bacteria, it produce alcohol and carbon dioxide. These are very useful in making bread, beer, and wine. So, even though it makes less energy than normal respiration, it's still very helpful for survival in low oxygen environments and in food and industry. Oxygen available. The body still breaks down glucose but only partly, so it makes less energy (ATP) compared to normal breathing with oxygen. Even though it's not very efficient, it is important because it keeps our cells alive and working when oxygen is low. The results depend on the organisms. In humans and animals, it makes lactic acid, which is why we feel muscle pain and tiredness after heavy exercise. In yeast and bacteria, it makes alcohol and carbon dioxide, which are used in bread making, brewing, and wine production. This process is helpful because it allows life to continue in low oxygen conditions, and it also used in everyday industries like food and drink.
Respiration in the biological process by which organisms release energy from food molecules. While most organisms rely on anaerobic respiration, which requires oxygen, some cells and organisms can survive and produce energy without oxygen through a process called anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration occurs when oxygen is limited or absent. Instead of fully breaking down glucose into carbon dioxide and water, the process is incomplete, producing less energy (ATP) compared to aerobic respiration. The anaerobic respiration happens when there isn't enough oxygen instead of completely breaking down food for energy. The process is only partly done, so it makes less energy. It also produces waste products acid, like lactic acid in animals, or alcohol and carbon dioxide in yeast. This allows some organisms to keep making energy even without oxygen. It can also result in byproducts such as what I said earlier, lactic acid in animals and some bacteria, or ethanol and carbon dioxide. The difference of anaerobic respiration and aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration uses oxygen and gives more energy. Anaerobic respiration happens without oxygen and gives less energy but helps organisms survive when oxygen is low.
So, hi, my name is Rika Esaga, Group 9 Reporters, Anaerobic Respiration. So first, What is respiration? Respiration is how your cells make energy from food, mainly glucose sugar. Think of it like you're charging your body's battery. It can help you move, think, and live. And what are the two types of respiration? There are two main types of respiration, which is the aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So first, una ila differences, una ila kalahian. So ang aerobic respiration is mag-need kita ng oxygen, and an anaerobic respiration happens without oxygen. So the anaerobic respiration, when there isn't enough oxygen, like during intense exercise, your cells can make energy but in a different way. So kibali, kita, di ba pag mag-exercise kita, mag-deep breathing kita kadayo, pero pag sa anaerobic respiration, nanha kita makakuha ng mga intense na mga exercise. Example, yaon mag-gym kita, di ba yaon kay need yun kadayo nato ng mga energy or what. So instead of fully breaking down glucose with oxygen, your body breaks it down partially. This makes less energy, but it's faster and doesn't need oxygen. In humans, glucose, lactic acid, small amount of energy. The lactic acid builds up in your muscles. This is why you feel burning, cramps, or fatigue when you overexercise. Later, your body needs to break down that lactic acid by breathing in oxygen. This is called the oxygen debt. In microorganisms like yeast, glucose, alcohol, plus carbon dioxide, plus energy, this process is called fermentation, used in making bread, beer, and wine. So, lahiyaw pa'y lahi-lahi ng mga anaerobic respiration. So, lahi iton kay na sa humans, ini sa mga microorganisms like yeast. So, the main functions of anaerobic respiration is provides quick energy without oxygen. When your body runs out of oxygen, like during sprinting or heavy lifting, dato na ako kain na, anaerobic respiration gives your cells a fast backup way to keep making energy. Number 2, keeps muscles working in low oxygen. It prevents your muscle from shutting down right away by supplying at least some energy, even if oxygen isn't available. Number 3, helps certain organisms survive. Some bacteria and yeast live in places with little or no oxygen, mud, deep soil, intestines.
Because both are processes that cells use to release energy from glucose. They both begin with glycolysis, where glucose is broken down into smaller molecules in the cytoplasm. In both cases, this breakdown produces ATP, which is the main energy source for the cells. Although the amount of ATP is different, but they also both requires enzymes to control the reaction and result in waste product after energy is released. In simple terms, whether oxygen is present or not, both types of respiration share the same goal, to convert food into usable energy for the cells. So, in difference, aerobic and anaerobic respiration different mainly in their use of oxygen and the amount of energy they produce. Aerobic respiration requires oxygen and happens in the mitochondria, producing a large amount of ATP along with the carbon dioxide and water as waste products. Anaerobic respiration, on the other hand, does not use oxygen and takes place in the cytoplasm, producing only a small amount of ATP instead of carbon dioxide and water. It produces other byproducts such as lactic acid and animals or alcohol and carbon dioxide in yeast and some plants. In short, aerobic respiration is more efficient and clean, while anaerobic respiration is less efficient and produce different waste products. So that's their definitions.